instead of thinking about what I will do tomorrow, I have to do today, which makes tomorrow better.
Oh yes, yeah, like yeah. What can I do
That's
today?
that's one of the key takeaway I have taken.
Yeah, wow. I think you were almost at the end of it, but I promise you, if you watch the last part, it's gonna be more interesting.
Yeah. I have followed, and because today I was occupied by those duties.
Mm.
That's why I didn't end it, but I have a purpose to end it.
Yeah. Well, actually, for me, sometimes I watch speeches, yeah, for coaching purposes, but usually I learn so much actually I watch them, I take notes, I apply things they share, and yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. Yeah. Yeah, we use that one for the. Let me confirm. Steven said he's not coming. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, he has another event, but we'll take a recording to. Let me just contact Amy. I don't know if he's gonna be there. Just give me a second. Just give me like 1 minute. Yeah, he seems to be offline. Maybe. Yeah, but anyways, no problem. Yeah. To give you just an overview of what we did last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what I can get this one. Just. Yep. Yeah. So I'll share the screen just to give you a summary, so that we can start on the same foot. So last week we're just discussing the way to create a speaking strategy, where we looked at like when you have to speak somewhere, like let's say you're preaching or you have an audience, the way to analyze the situation so you can be able to achieve the goal. Because at the end of the day, whenever you speak, be at work, there will be a certain goal you want to achieve. Maybe there's information you want to deliver, or there is an action you want the audience to take. There is a feeling you want your audience to have. It's always about the goal. And and then the way to analyze that is first to look at your message. What do you want to achieve? Like, if maybe I want to inform my co-workers about the new year, maybe organizational policy, or you want to inspire audience to take their life seriously. you know you have a message. That's the first thing you can see, like in the metro. The first part of the strategy is to have a message,
Exactly.
with the purpose, of course, to inform, either to persuade people. Yeah, then after understanding the message you have, the next thing you do is to look at your audience. Who is in your audience?
Yeah.
Yeah, who are they? What do they know about your topic? What feeling do they have now? And yeah, and among the audience, who has the power to affect the impact of your message? Like if you are, let's say you are fundraising, always the donor is the most powerful person in your audience, right?
Yeah.
So you need to work hard to convince the donor, something like that. So another aspect to consider when you are preparing for a presentation and in creating a story is to think of yourself as a speaker. Like, who are you to your audience? Do they trust you, or they don't? Then from that point, it helps you to know whether you have to work hard and prove yourself to them, right? Yeah.
Question I should have is,
Hmm?
question I should have is, uh, if they don't trust you,
Hmm.
can you do?
When they don't trust you.
Maybe because of different factors. But suppose if they trust you, it's one step up.
Mm. Mm.
So if you realize that they don't trust you, what can you do as a speaker?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
sometimes people may trust someone and because they may be different like that. If somebody doesn't trust you,
Yeah.
does it mean that you're going to quit?
Yeah, okay, I get you. Yeah, sometimes your audience is a resistant audience, or they don't know you. So
Yeah.
it's a big challenge you have as a speaker. And so this is what we call credibility. So people trust you because you are trustworthy, right? So one of the way to trust you is because they know you, they know your expertise about the topic. Maybe it's easier. But sometimes if you don't already have that credibility established, you have to work harder, right? To establish that trust. Maybe you can tell them the researches you did, your experience. You can share the preparations you did for the topic, or the success stories you had about that topic, maybe. So anything that you think might show that you are the right person to talk about that. So yeah, these are major techniques. We keep learning about that, yeah, as we go. Yeah. So um, so as a speaker, you need to know like where you stand. Are you credible enough, or you need to act like impress the audience? Yeah. So also another aspect is to think about the channel. Are you speaking online or physically? Uh, and prepare enough. Also, you need to think about how our audience gonna give you feedback. Like we saw that like when audience you speak and audience clap, they're giving you feedback. When they are sleeping, they are giving you feedback. When they are distracted, they are giving you feedback. So you need to always be ready to always analyze your audience to see the feedback they give you and act. Like even that it's a sleeping audience, you need to work harder a little bit, maybe um, to showcase that, to show that. I mean, to engage them, maybe ask them a question so they can wake up, something like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then you hmm? Yeah. Then the last is the context. Also, there's interference. Yeah, context is like the culture where you speak. So, I forgot the interferences, like things which can distract you. So all these things you can look at them. I hope when you watch that video, you understand the details we discussed. But this is the like if I can summarize this in one word, it will be when you have to speak somewhere. It's like a challenge you have to solve. It's a situation you have to. It's like a problem you have to solve. So this analysis it helps you to understand the problem. Who is your audience and what do you want to tell them? And then you start thinking, how now can I achieve this goal? So this whole sketch here, it's basically about like a problem definition, like trying to understand where you have to speak, who you're speaking to, and then think the message you want to achieve, like the message you want to deliver, and the impact you want it to have, and then the rest, what is remaining, what we're gonna do, you start finding the best ways to solve this problem, the way to achieve the goal. Yeah, basically this is more of what we saw in the last session. So this week, as you saw, we have very very important things, which three of them. One is to think about the purpose of your talk. Then number two will be about how to organize ideas. And number three is about transitions. So you might be wondering, why did I bring all of them together? The reason I brought these three elements together is because, one, when you get to speak somewhere, you have a purpose, right?
Yeah.
Then, after understanding your purpose, like the message you want to give, it determines the elements, the main points. Like, yeah, because like your purpose, you use your purpose, then you choose maybe stories to tell, examples to give. It all depends on what you want to accomplish. Then also the transitions, like it's about how you move from one idea to another. So like this, both these two elements, they always go hand in hand. They always go together. So that's why we are going to look through them together. And at the end of this session, you understand more about how to craft purpose, and then and also how to. Oh gosh. I'm trying to find it. The blank. Okay, this one is blank. The blank. You know this? Do you know this platform?
Sorry?
Do you know this platform that I use?
Platform.
Yeah, this software, like where you can write. It's called the Miro or Miro.
I just see it. Just my how to do this.
Yeah, well, it's a very interesting platform. Like, actually, I can even invite you so you can also like have access to the board so we can write. Actually, they are mostly used for teams, like when you're working in teams and you have to collaborate.
I'm not very technology, but I have to be
Yeah, this is something that it's very interesting. You can learn it. In the future sessions, I will make sure you collaborate on this board so you can be familiar with it. Yeah, so today we're gonna see something called one, like general purpose. General purpose. Then we look at the specific purpose and central idea. Then after this, we also learn about organization pattern. It's a very simple concept. Then the last thing we see is transitions. Yep. So let's start with the general purpose of a speech. So if you watch that speech, what do you think was the purpose? I will give you like 4 words. Every time we speak anywhere, we have either we are trying to inform people, to give information generally, or to persuade them. Like persuading people, it's about either you are trying to make people change their mind about the way they think about something, or actually for them to take a certain action. Maybe if you want people to donate some money for a charity, or you want people to buy a service, whatever things you tell them, your purpose to persuade them. So some other times, the general purpose you have is to inspire. So inspire, it's about uplifting the mood and giving people hope. And so if you lost it, you can try again. All that. And some other times, speakers have the purpose to entertain. So these are just the 4 major purposes of a speech. Yeah. But there are some occasions where, like, people speak to, special occasions. Like maybe it's a funeral, or it's a birthday party, it's a wedding, or you're introducing a speaker. You see? Yeah. So, like, in your opinion, like, that speaker was called Chris, right? If I remember well.
Yeah.
Chris. No. In that speech, what's the name of the speaker? Actually, I forgot the name. I mean the name of that speaker. Like, just let me check it out. Yeah. His name drawers. the speech about procrastinating on purpose. Yeah, it's called Rory Vaden. It's not Chris. Chris is another speech I used some time ago. Yeah, so if you think about between among these four reasons, why did you think? What was the general purpose of Rory? You hear me? Hello?
You asked me the question.
Yeah, I'm asking you, what do you think was his general purpose by delivering that speech?
The one which I have built.
Yes, the one about time management.
Yeah, it was to inform.
Why do you think? Why do you think so?
People are not informed about what he was telling them. They know it in a different way. So he was informing them to know it because they think they know what they don't know.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's one way to look at it. He was giving information, but maybe as we look at the end of the talk, Rowley was trying to change people's minds about things they know about time management. Yeah, there are some techniques that people use, right?
Yeah.
To manage that time. But if you watch that speech to the end, you find that Rowley was calling them to start acting differently.
Yeah.
Like to start managing time differently. So sometimes when you give information for the sake of giving information, it's just informing speech. But some other times you give information with the purpose to change your audience mind. So also those kind of speeches, we refer to them as persuasive speech as well. So persuasion always comes in two forms, like either you are calling people to take a certain action, maybe to buy, maybe subscribe, maybe donate, or you are just dealing with it internally where you are changing people's thoughts about something. Let's say if someone was an atheist, doesn't believe in God, and then they call you to speak to them as a believer that they can believe. So you can see by that you are trying to change their mind. So this way, it's a persuasive speech. So that's why Roy's purpose was to persuade. But this is always just a general purpose. But now when you think about specific purpose, we are wondering so when you have to speak, let's say, give me an example of a place you spoke last time. The last time you had to speak somewhere or deliver presentation.
Most of the time I present when I'm just teaching about lesson.
Okay, all right. Sabbath school lesson. So that means last Sabbath the lesson was about the testimonies, right?
Yeah.
The testimonies of Thomas and the disciples. Yeah, for those who believe. Yeah. So usually when when you have specific purpose, it's to take the general purpose, maybe to inform my audience, maybe if it's to inform, then you add who are you informing, then you add what are you informing them, or if it's to persuade, you persuade, then who are you persuading and what are you persuading them to do. So in simple terms here, what I'm trying to say, the purpose of a speech, a specific purpose, is to think about why before you speak anywhere, like in your future or current speaking engagements where you'll be supposed to speak, the first thing as you prepare for a presentation or speech is to think like, why am I going to speak to these people? So some of the examples can be to inform, maybe like to inform my audience, the congregation, about testimonies about Jesus. So this will help you to know what should be your major elements, right? Yeah, when you just after like crafting this specific purpose, actually it influences your points because you choose the main points based on the purpose you have. Yeah, so like if it's you are going to persuade your audience to to believe, to persuade my audience to donate, let's say okay, something actually to donate for church construction. Church construction. Just I was trying to find some examples. You see, this is where we would craft like a specific purpose. You just take the general purpose, then you add your audience, who are you going to talk to, then again you added the major thing you want to achieve. So this is the foundation when you start presenting like actually a talk. And we are going to use some of these examples to build a speech, organize it, and create transitions. Yeah. So then after writing your okay actually yeah, let's use the Rory's speech. For example, could you like try to craft a purpose for that speech? What was like Rory's purpose in your own words?
Rory's purpose during that speech, it really did build around the general purpose of the speech. It was really trying to change people's mind to know how they can use their time.
To persuade his audience to use time differently, to manage time differently. Maybe, yeah, let's take this something. Yeah, maybe Rory's purpose can be something.
To change the context, they consider time. They say that time management, but just only in words. People don't do it in the way.
To change their time management approach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's a better way of saying this. Yeah, apparently in that speech, he's calling them to change the way they manage their time. So then, after understanding your purpose as a speaker, the last thing you do is to craft your central idea. Usually, I don't take so much time on central idea because central idea is more of summary, like the foundational thought you want to share. Because like if you said to change the time management approach, yeah, that's the broader thing. But the central idea was like, I want my audience to stop managing the time the way they used to in the past and approach the new model, which is about focus funnel. You will learn about that when you watch the video. But it's more the point I'm trying to make is central idea. It's the summarizing like your speech. Like if you can say, like if you can talk about your speech in 2 lines, what can that be? That will be your central idea when you remove everything. So usually it summarizes the main points. Summary of the main points. So let's say, like let's take an example of, so you're going to persuade your audience to donate for church construction. What are like the 3 reasons you can give that to like to oh, this is gonna be difficult, you know, because I will teach you how to craft the message for persuasion. Let's take a simpler topic. um, why you should go to church every week. Why you should go to church every week. Maybe let's say something like this. So, like, could you tell me like 3 reasons why going to church every week is important?
For me, going to church every week is important because it helps me to connect with people.
One is connect, network, connect with people.
Learning much from others because myself, I'm not enough to learn all I need.
Okay, learn from others. Okay. Let's take, okay, like enjoy the music, right? I think being in church is fun, right?
To be that in that environment really helps in all ways.
Yeah, enjoy the music. Like, let's say fun part of it. Actually, I think going to church is more of this, where you learn from others and preaching. So it's more of learning. But again, you build networks, you connect with friends and other believers. Yeah, probably maybe you're speaking to a group of people and you're encouraging them to go to church every Sabbath or every weekend, right? So you see, maybe you have these 3 points. These 3 points you want to talk about. Like you want to just develop them. You want to talk about connection with people, then talk about learning, and then talk about fun, enjoying being there. So we are going to build a speech around these ideas. So basically, I just put it here, but I want us to just, so your purpose is gonna be to persuade your audience to go to church every week, right? That's the specific purpose, to persuade your audience, my audience, let's say it's me, persuade my audience to go to church every week. Let's say it's your ceremony today and you have a purpose to persuade people that they should be coming to church every week. So that means your main the central idea will be like, you should go to church every week to build strong connection with others, learn from others, and enjoy the moment. You see this central idea, it's a summary of everything you want to say. Yeah. So, but because you don't tell it to anybody, it's just for you, like as you build. So then, when you're building this speech, so you have these 3 points. Let's try to develop them, right? So maybe about connection with people, you can talk about why human relationships are important. You can give some statistics maybe about that, right? can share personal story of friends you met and how they helped you. This is just something like maybe 3 things you can talk about in the first point. Sorry. Okay, I got it. So then you can just use this point. You can talk about why human relationships matter, statistics about maybe suicide because of loneliness, right? Loneliness. Then you can tell stories. Yeah, and you can say conclude with why church can do that, can help people connect. So this is just a simple way to develop this point. Like you have a point, but you have also a connection. Then you say that, okay, my next point I want to talk about how we learn from others. When you can talk about sermons at church, how they help you, conversations, how like they change your perspectives. You can share a time you learned something, maybe a time someone said something and you learned, someone challenged you. Yeah, maybe it is just some supportive points. Then also you can support like fun, how music, community, and you can talk about the health benefit of it. Yeah, so something like that. You see, now we have 3 points developed, right?
Yeah.
So this is basically when you're preparing a talk, this turns out to be the body of your speech. This becomes the body of your speech. Then after preparing this body, it is easy for you to prepare introduction. Introduction, we'll learn about it next time, but it's about how do you get people interested in these ideas before you even like describe them, right? So the introduction, we look at it about how to get attention. I don't wanna focus about it now. Make it relevant to them. There are many things we look at. Show your story, your credibility. These are things we put in introduction. I don't want to go into details today. We learn how to craft. You know, many people just think the most important part of the speech is the body. But introduction is the most important because once you don't get it right, people will follow you. So then after crafting an introduction, it's easy now to move on and craft the body of your speech. I mean, the conclusion. Also, in the following session, we will learn about how to craft the killer. We call them like the killer conclusion, like the last word you say, and people don't forget you. Yeah. So I hope by now you have an idea of how the purpose you have. If you had this purpose, why to persuade my audience to go to church every week. So if that was the purpose, your persuasion, so you can see now like we almost have a full speech, right? Written down here. So basically you can see now how the purpose influences the content. Then this brings us to different ideas. How do you organize ideas to be well understood, right? You might have heard people like they go to speak or preach and they move on and on and on and on and they talk, but like you can't keep track of them. You don't know where they are. You don't know where they are closing, where they're in the middle of the speech. Like, so, so when ideas are not organized, um, people don't understand you. The best way to make people understand your point, your message, is to organize it in small chunks, right? So let's see. Like, did you watch that speech about organizational patterns? Yeah, there was a short. Mhm. Oh, good. Yeah. So, like, which one? Which one did you see? All right. Yeah. Chronological. That's number one. So what does it mean when we arrange ideas chronologically? Yes, time and years. Okay, like let's say you. Okay, because yeah, we are both Christians. We can talk about. Let's say you want to talk about the journey, the journey of Israelites from Egypt to Canaan, right? So it is easier to take major topics, talk about maybe God giving them law, maybe their fights, their fight with enemies, and maybe you can talk another point about their maybe religious practices, sacrifices, right? That's going to be just the major topic to say, okay, I'm going to talk about the Israelites' journey, but now we focus on their religion, their fights, their wars. What was the second point again? Yeah, exactly. So, but there is a way you can organize that whole story. You can say like, let's say before Red Sea, right? You can talk about the time before Red Sea, like what happened in Egypt before they left. Then you can talk about after Red Sea to Mount Sinai, like what happened in between there. Then you talk about after Sinai, up say to Canaan, right? You see, but by taking the whole story, you can arrange it in those small sections, which will help your audience understand you clearly. Um, so see, chronologic it's about time, steps, or order. Like if I'm teaching how to prepare omelette. You can talk preparations, cook, frying, yeah, whatsoever, eating maybe. Or let's say if you're talking about water cycle, how the rain comes, evaporation part, condensation part, precipitation part, infiltration part. You see, like speeches which usually talk about like, so let's say okay, if you want to talk about the history of Africa, when you say like something like pre-colonial, during colonialism, and after colonialism. So this way you're organizing your main ideas in chronology, years or steps. Or let's say you talk about Rwanda, yeah? Can you talk about Rwandan story in terms of maybe before genocide, during genocide, and after genocide? So these are just some of the ideas of how to organize time of when things happen, order or steps, yeah, especially describing historical event. So then when you tell me, I'm going to tell you about the history of Rwanda. So I will take you through our conversation, like the time before genocide, the time during genocide, and the after genocide. You see, now I gave you an introduction, right? But now I will take my speech will be more like sectioned in this, and that. So this is very, very important for speech. Wherever you go to speak, you need to think about the way you organize things. Because if you don't understand this, nothing else will gonna work. So, um, so we saw like examples where we say like pre-colonialism, colonialism, during colonialism, and after. And after, under each one you can talk about this and that. Kings, maybe monarchy, you can talk about culture. Now you can talk about events that happened, conquests, actually was the resistance and collaboration. These are the major events. Then after, maybe there's independence and development. Maybe, yeah, democracy, republicanism. So these are just, you see, you can organize your thoughts around colonialism then you can talk about these main ideas at that time, monarchy and culture of people. Then when you come to during colonization, you can talk about how African nations resisted or collaborated. You can also sometimes, then after, you can talk about maybe independence and new governments. New governments. These can be your major points, organized very chronologically. You see, it's almost a speech I just put here, simply. So then you can create the body, the introduction and the conclusion, so you can expand on that. So another way to organize, what was another way? Did you find?
This positive
Uh-huh.
pros and cons.
Pros and cons. Yeah, comparing good and bad. Yeah. Yeah. So there is one I want us to focus on called topical. Yeah, topical. Probably this is the most important. The most commonly used. Topical organization. So topic organization, it's when like you take topics actually which are related to your speech and develop them. Let's say you want to talk about the importance of technology in a society. You can talk about the business, talk about health, maybe, and services. Oh no, services like transport, let's say. You see, these health, business, and transport, they're three broad topics. You see? So, but they can help you. You can say, okay, I'm going to talk about this, this, and that. So this point you take, they are topics, then you can expand on them. So the same thing we did here with this speech we wrote about why you should go to church every week. We gave actually three reasons, actually three topics. Connecting with people, learn from others, and enjoy the music. So what tells you that they are topical? It's because you can mix them. Take the last, make it the first without any problem. They are not following each other in order, but of course you have to organize them in a way which makes more impact. But so topic organization is when you take topics and you bring them here. So this one is very helpful because it gives you some flexibility. Because like these topics I talk, we can change all of them and bring other unrelated topics as long as they just fit, as long as they fit in the purpose we have. So this can be another good example on topic organizations, like this speech we put here, where you just like all these things are like this becomes topic number one actually. So what it tells you, they are topics. It's when you can actually develop a speech around it alone. It's going to be like topic number 1. Then this is going to be topic number 2 on learning from others. This is going to be topic number 3. Yeah, so most of the speeches are like this. You realize like they just bring ideas and they put them together. They kind of bring ideas and put them together without too much like connection. So another interesting organization pattern, maybe when I can talk about it, is problem solution.
Yeah.
So the same with cause and effect. Like problem and solution, usually the first point we describe the problem, then the second point we describe the solution. So let's use like that speech of Rowley. So the first point is about problem with conventional time management. So the problem basically was known time management approaches are not effective. See, this is basically the problem he read, and he proved it. He brought the different like prioritization. That was one of his point. Like says the give me a second. Let me copy paste it here. So like he organized them historically, where he said like most of these here he made these points that there's one-dimensional way of managing time, of doing things faster. He said it is limited. We are still lagging behind. We are caught. He says another approach was two-dimension, focusing on urgency and how important things are, which focus on prioritization. He explained clearly how these approaches are not effective, right? Then, after explaining the problem, he comes with the second point, which is the solution. The solution. And in the solution, he describes a lot of things where he talked about there's a point you mentioned, which was about
You mentioned success.
yeah, give yourself emotion, permission to spend time today on things that will give you time tomorrow, right? Yeah, this was the solution. So this, okay, I will challenge you to go and watch the whole speech. He then explained his model, new model, which called focus funnel, which focus on things like eliminate things, delegate. What was, I think the last point he brought up was you can eliminate things, you can automate and delegate. Yeah, basically this is what is his model. You can eliminate, you can automate. Man, go and watch it and delegate. Yeah. So, okay, I don't want to go into a lot of details. It's actually not necessary for now. But you see, such speeches, they present the problem first, they describe it, then you come up with a solution of what you suggest. So you're gonna use most of these speeches when you are like when you are trying to convince people to do something. Most of the times you will need to You need to show the problem first of all, and then bring your solution and convince them to adopt it. So this is one of the ways to organize your ideas. Like, take the problem, describe it, solution. Or take the causes, describe them, then talk about the effect. Or it always depends on the purpose, right? Yeah, but you can tell perhaps. So, like we're talking about air pollution. If you're talking about air pollution, you can organize it about air pollution. It can be organized around cause and effect. Can you talk air pollution, cause and effect? When you talk about causes of air pollution, industries, maybe cars, maybe deforestation. Then you go on to talk about effect on health, on environment, maybe on global warming. So this can be a major point. So this just to give you an idea. I hope that video helps you to understand different ways to organize your points. So, but don't worry if you don't understand everything now. So, like in every speech we're going to be having, like in the next subsequent sessions, I'll always be asking you try to understand the speaker and see the approach they use to organize their ideas, because it's gonna be the most important thing for you in speaking. How do you organize your ideas? Because like if you look at my presentation now, like what we're discussing now, I told you, like, so we're gonna discuss about the speech purpose, then organization patterns, and the transitions. So which pattern do you think I used here? Exactly, you got it. So there are 3 topics. I can mix them up. It doesn't matter, but there are 3 topics. Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. You got it. So, well, you find some other interesting techniques like acronyms, mnemonics. You know them? So mnemonics, maybe let me introduce you to that. It's an interesting aspect as well. Yeah, like if there's a video I created last few weeks, and my video was about how to build your personal brand, using social media.
I'm sorry, someone was calling you. That's why.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I was talking about another interesting way to organize your ideas using acronyms. Yeah, like I was saying, like my video last few weeks was about how to build your personal brand using social media. Then I said, so they are classified in 3 P's. So mnemonics are basically mnemonics are like acronyms, abbreviations, which can help you organize your content and make them memorable. Like in my speech, I said there are 3 P's. Then I went on to explain the 3 P's for building a personal brand. That could go on. First P is proposition. P number 1 is value proposition. P number 2 is profile. Then P number 3 is post. Do you understand these 3 P's? You might find an acronym, an interesting. You can even create it, just to introduce every main point you want to talk about, right? So this is another way, like using acronyms to organize ideas. Then let's maybe look at the last thing we have to look at today, which is transitions. So what do you understand like by transitions?
Well, transition I've learned it as the way you move from one idea to another
Hmm.
in a way which is fulfilling the previous one. Just the way to keep making you people cast off what you are saying by shifting to the next side.
Yes, to the next slide. Yeah, you're right. It's how you move. Like, let's for example, if this speech we wrote here, it's about why do you go to church every week? So then you go on and introduce the people. You might it might be something like, so today 90% of people don't go to church. They actually think it's not important, and you might be one of them. So I used to be one of those people who don't go to church, but through experience and real reflection, I've learned many reasons why you should go to church. And today I want to share with you just 3 reasons why you should really consider going to church if you've stopped. You see, this is my simple introduction, right? I didn't like prepare a lot, but then I could say like, so the first reason is you'll be able to connect with people and build stronger relationships. You know, human will use emotional social beings. You know, they need each other, and this has brought survival of our species. So you should really connect with people. Actually, there is a staggering statistics that suicide rates are increasing because people don't connect anymore. uh, I remember when I was younger, I used to live with my 5 siblings, and when we said they all went to high school and they left alone, and I felt really, really sad. So then, but when I came to church, my life changed. I built the friends and a community, and my life moved on. So if you really care about your mental health and your social being, you should really go back to church to connect with people. The second reason you should go to church is to learn from others. Maybe someone's conversation with others bring you perspectives, and it challenges you. Yeah, because you start looking at things through other people's lens. Don't just be dwarf in your mind. Let other people challenge you with new perspectives. So this is the reason you should really go to church to learn from others. So far we have seen that you should go to church to connect with people and learn from other people. Let's now look about how you can have fun at church, which is a very, very strong reason. Through music, through through that community, and it has health benefits. Maybe listen to music and all that. So, dear friends, I know this might sound like a cliche that the church tradition, but church attendance can change your life through human connection, through having fun, and through learning. I highly encourage you to go to church the next Sabbath. You think about it. So, okay, I just delivered that speech, right? How was it?
I'm just making a clap for you. I don't know how somebody could clap here on this platform, but if it is, I should really mark it.
Yeah. So then, thank you. So, like, tell me how many, like, about the transitions you noticed in my presentation.
Uh, it was so sweet, and nobody who can't even, someone who can't even understand that transition would be somehow crazy. But the first transition was started by secondly, when we were going to mention about how to learn from others.
Secondary, yes, that's a transition. Yeah.
Yeah. The next transition was, let me tell you how to enjoy, to have fun at church.
hmm
It was saying, let me tell you how you can have fun at church.
All
That
right.
was the second one.
That was a second, yeah. So let's just go through them quickly. I think it's very easy. I'm gonna share with you just 3 transitions that you can use in your speeches, which are very simple to apply and understand. So I hope what have you. One is something they call signposting. Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen it when it was some kind of pictures, directional things, things like this.
Yeah, signposting is like telling people where you are. Like when I say, let's begin with, all right? So when you tell people, let's begin with, after like you introduce your talk, right?
Yeah.
And you tell people like, let's begin with, that's a transition because it signals in their minds that we are moving from one point, maybe introduction, starting with point number one, right? Or the idea number one. Or you something like you're going to say like the first. When you go like say the first, that's a transition as well. Or something like the second or secondly. Or something like the next point, the next reason. You see, all these things, all these words, many people undermine them, but they are very very important for transitioning from one point to the next. Like when I say like something finally or in conclusion. You see, all these words, just these ones, we call them signposting because they just tell your audience where you are. So okay, I know that you already use them because there's no you can like teach without using them. But what's the like? Let's move to this. Let's move to this to the Monday section. See, that's a transition. It's just very very like logical. Yeah.
So, uh, uh,
Yeah.
I want to ask,
Mm.
are they exhaustive or can it be possible for someone to discover new ones?
Yes. Let me try. Let me just. Thanks for the good question. So let me just share the second one. Did you hear when I said in my just quick speech like I said like so far we have seen that you should go to church to connect with people and learn from others. Let's now look how you can have fun at church as a second reason. Did you hear me saying that?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that a transition?
I got it
So
was.
yeah. So that transition, it is called, we call them review preview. Review preview transition. So review preview transition is basically when you review what you said, then you preview like to highlight what you're gonna say next. Yeah, the point like so far we have seen so far we have seen that going to church can help you connect with people and build and learn. Let's now look at how going to church can help you have fun. You see that I used that summary of what we saw and introduced the next theme, the next topic. So that's another cool technique for transitioning from one idea to the next. Actually, it's one of my favorite because the reason it's one of my favorite because it summarizes what we saw, which helps like you make your audience remember. So it's a very very cool technique, and then many people use that. Yeah, there's one more. So there's one more which we call negative transition. So negative transitions usually it's when you say something like learning is not the only reason why you should go to church, but also having fun. See, like a point like that, it's when you say like it's not only. Usually it use not only, but also. So you consider that you shouldn't go to church to just connect with the people and learn, but also have fun. You see, by making just that simple statement, I highlight that moving, right? So you can also use that transition, like to say it's not only that one, but also this one. Yeah, connecting with people and what was the point? Connecting people and learning are not the only reasons you should go to church, but also having fun. So you can find your own ways to like use words, but that's also another way to transition from one idea to another. Yeah. So these are just some of the ones I can think of now. I don't know. In the video, they mentioned something else.
Yeah, it's not about a video.
Mm,
They're not from that university. Maybe it's Gastenberg. I don't know the name well,
mm,
but it's a textbook centers which is from the university. Let me check here.
mm.
It is the university which is called. It is a note that you sent about the structuring
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
speech.
I remember that.
Let's see. University of Pittsburgh.
Mm. Did they mention something else?
Yeah, I mentioned something, and it was very meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to understand the term ethos. The term ethos, I have seen some related notes which are pointing to positive things that we should care when we are speaking.
Oh, okay.
Yes, as well we are introducing, as we are making the body even including what we have to care for. But I didn't get well the full meaning of this term ethos. So I'm
Ethos.
last speak. Yeah, ethos. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Let me just introduce to that. Actually, usually in speaking, uh, especially persuasive speeches. In fact, we will have a session about that. There are three things actually which come to play. One is something called ethos. Then there's something called pathos, and logos. So this is a triangle for persuasion. Like if you want to persuade people, so the first thing you have to target is their logic. It's about reasoning. It's about um, logos. It's about sorry. Logos. It's about reasoning, like giving them facts, right? Something reasonable. If you're telling people to come to church, tell them like the health benefits of people who went to church and what they benefit. Bring numbers, reasoning. So it goes with facts, numbers, statistics, yeah, or real life stories. See, something reasonable, like which can be logical. Then, but again, for people to be convinced, pathos is about emotions. Emotions, like talk to people in a way that will make them cry. Like, touch the emotion. Bring stories of real life people. Like if you say someone didn't go to church and maybe he was lonely and he got lost and he started going into drugs because he lost touch with people. Such stories which make people sad. Yeah, we call them pathos. So this is another aspect of of of, persuasion or in speaking. Then ethos, it's about you as a speaker. Actually, it's about your credibility. Why should people trust you? Like, why are you the right person to tell me this? Like, for example, if you go to teach about a disease and why people should take up health lifestyle, and I tell them that I'm a doctor, right? And you're a financial expert, honestly, people are gonna trust me more than you. Even if you might be having, okay, if we both like have similar points, they will trust my arguments than yours because I'm a doctor and you're not. So this is where ethos comes in. Ethos technically means credibility. If I can find the ethos
I get it.
meaning, ethos, pathos, logos. So ethos about ethics or attitude, like attitudes people have towards you. Exactly. Yeah. Like attitudes people have towards you. So this is just the model for persuasion. So in speaking. So I think where you saw it, it must be about. It must be about. Yeah, this one, credibility, the attitude of your audience towards you. But yeah, we'll have a session about how to speak to be persuasive, where we learn about what you should include in your speech. But basically, these are the ones: ethos, pathos, logos. It's a philosophy which is known about persuasive speaking. So, but ethos, like on its own, it's about your credibility and the attitude of people towards you. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So I hope for now at least you understand uh, how your speech purpose influence the point you bring.
Exactly, I get it.
Yeah, and how your point should be organized. Find a logical way. You can even create your own, but find a logical way that your point to be connected and it be reflecting back to your purpose. And then don't just say things. Try to create a format, like a framework of how your points are related to one another, and then as you move from one part to the next, let people know. Don't leave them alone.
Yeah.
This is where transition comes in. Yeah. So then the next session we learn about introduction. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be learning like what are the elements, 5 elements you should include in your introduction. A strong introduction which is irresistible. Like telling people to come to church, it's okay. You have very strong point, but you need a different technical way to start that even people who don't care about it will care. So it's gonna be an interesting session about how to start a presentation and talk in a way that engage people, bring them, make them care about it, and establish your ethos, your credibility, and all that. Yeah, but again, I'm gonna give you an assignment this time. From this time and on, I'll be giving you assignments. Yeah, so assignment is gonna be you're gonna just prepare a short speech, really 3 or 5 to 5 minutes or less. So I want you to just organize.
What is?
Hmm?
What would the speech be all about? Any topic? And so for me, I feel like so it should be somehow like a story. Should be.
No way. Okay, choose what you want. I'm not gonna give you a topic. Just find your own topic.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, just take your own topic. Prepare short speech. So I want you. My focus will be about to see how you organize your ideas, and if you have a logical way to organize them, and how you transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for this time, you can record a short video, if you're okay, or a short audio of yourself. Then then you will send it to me. You will send to me maybe before next Sunday. Before next Sunday, then I can review it. So during the session, I can give you feedback, right?
5 minutes.
Yeah, maximum 3 to 5 minutes. Amy, hello. Yeah, Amy just come. Actually, he's muted. He came in very late. So
Hello?
yes, Amy.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, I'm sorry for being late.
You missed out.
Yeah, I don't know where you are.
Yeah, almost we are done because I have another call at 8:30 in the next 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry.
Oh,
But don't worry. I recorded the whole session.
yes.
Yeah, I'm going to upload it on my YouTube because okay, I don't make them public. It's just the best way to keep it on air.
Mm-hmm.
So after uploading it, I will share the link with you so you can like watch it and also keep up. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but for now you need to know that everyone will have to prepare a short speech, 3 to 5 minutes, focusing on organizing your points and learning how to transition the most effective way to move from one idea to the next. So that's gonna be what I'm gonna say. So you can record just a short audio because this one is not video intensive. I just want to understand if you master the idea of my ideas should be organized in a logical way to make people understand and also transitioning from one point to the next. So yeah, I'm gonna record this. Upload it on there's a way I upload it on YouTube without making them public. The only people I give the link, they are the one who can see it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joas, thanks for joining today. I hope.
Thank you so much, and I would like to inform that the speaker whom I have chosen, the one who is my favorite, Mr. Les Brown.
Oh, Les Brown, yes.
He's been my favorite, and I really adore him for the way he makes transition, the way he articulates, the way he just really motivates people. Really makes me. That's why I really choose him.
Interesting. Yeah, I think we'll talk about that actually more details because yeah, Les Brown is one of my favorite as well. I watched him so many times. Yeah, I think one of the things I love about him is his stories, the way he tells stories, which are captivating.
Yeah.
Yes, well, keep watching that. I think, yeah, next time let's start with it. Yeah, we can like draw some lessons from Les Brown.
Yeah.
Yep. So have a great week. I hope today you learned something. Bro, these things you learned, it's the same thing they teach at the University of Wisconsin. Because when I was preparing this program, I used this book. It's a very large book. It's called the Art of Public Speaking. So I read this book so many times, and it's like the one I used to like to organize and but I took the major concepts and so you see like public speaking is an art. It's some techniques you can learn and apply and be as effective as all the great speakers you know. Yeah. So yeah, these things we are learning. Whenever you search on the internet, you find almost the same thing. So you are learning something really high standard, practical. Like the more you analyze the best speakers in the world, actually you realize how they apply these tips. So tomorrow I will send the content for the next week and all the instructions. And yeah, we keep going on the journey. Yeah, we are doing well. We are on schedule. I'm proud.